Yeah, I did like 100 curls before we started this.
100 curls?
Yeah.
If you sit like that the whole time, it's going to fall.
My arm?
Yeah, it's going to fall. Yeah, it's going to hurt.
I just let the blood rush in, dude.
It's going to hurt.
Did 50 push-ups.
That's a good warm-up. That's a good warm-up.
It's a good warm-up, yeah, for the video.
So tell me, bud. Some people don't know your name. What's your name?
I'm Chris.
Okay. What is your duty?
Chris Eaton, to be exact.
Chris Eaton, that's a government name?
Yeah. That's my official government name.
All right,
yeah.
all right.
Head coach, manager, CrossFit Bohica.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right. So he's a head coach and a manager. Very knowledgeable guy. Sometimes?
It depends on the day.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know much about different cheeses. Yeah, but I mean, I could probably help you get somewhere else if you were in a place and you need to get to another place. I could probably tell you how to get to that.
Like hand signals,
yeah.
Directions.
Oh, right, your left.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
that's actually pretty tough to do. You know, I mean, people mess that up. So,
it's really easy in Goldsboro because there's only like 2 roads that have anything on them.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Yeah, and we're on one of them, so.
You ain't lying. But we had a burning topic. That's what brought us here today.
Okay.
It's a very generic question.
All right, I love generic questions.
What is CrossFit?
Ooh, God. Okay, what is CrossFit?
What is it to you?
Oh, okay.
Not as the manager / head coach of CrossFit Bohica. As somebody that does CrossFit, what is it to you?
Okay. I mean, what is CrossFit from from a general standpoint, how I view CrossFit is it's just weightlifting, gymnastics, running, cardio movements, all meshed into fun, different ways to basically get your heart rate up. I mean, that's how I think about it, like at its most basic sense. It's just almost like any other training, but now we're just mixing together and having like cocktails of different movements put together and making a workout. Right? It's not sticking to the status quo of, all right, I need to go do chest day and then I'm gonna do like 1 mile on the treadmill afterwards. This is like, all right, I'm gonna do 5 rounds for time of 10 bench press at such and such weight and running. I'm gonna combine them so that I'm more efficient in my time and I'm actually testing my abilities across different energy systems, things like that. Not to get too technical.
So it's a good way of working out, doing something different every day.
Yeah.
But you get your strength, you get your cardio. It's just a good way of moving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's just a good way of getting like your variance and not sticking to the same old routine. Okay. I mean, obviously there's similarities you do day in and day out, but it's a good way of just doing something different. To me personally, what CrossFit is, like how do I view it? I view it as the most welcoming and all-encompassing way of working out, meaning there's a low barrier of entry and the payoff for learning how to do all the things that you can do in here is so beneficial for the rest of your life. So CrossFit is unlike anything else, but it's everything else, right?
I saw a good quote online. It said, CrossFitters are not trying to become the best at anything.
Right.
They're trying to become really good at everything.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the mantra of CrossFit. Like you're not trying to lift the absolute most amount of weight. You're not trying to run the absolute fastest mile. What you're trying to do is build up each of those to your best capacity and not have any weak links. Right? You should be able to bench press to the best of your abilities or squat to the best of your abilities, and on the next day you should be able to go run a 5K or at least move in a 5K. You know what I mean? Like maybe you walk a little bit, but you should be able to get a 5 kilometers. You should be able to get 3.1 miles, I think that is. You should be able to do that the next day.
So with all that being said, what made you want to get into CrossFit?
I got into CrossFit, me and my buddy Becker. Seifert. Very handsome man. I think he's taken now, though. He's down in Alabama.
Sorry, ladies.
Yeah, he's a strength and conditioning specialist, by the way, now. We both worked at a YMCA, and we were going in right before we went into work. We watched the kids, like throw water balloons at each other every day.
So you worked at YMCA?
Yeah, we were camp counselors. Okay. All right. I was even a lifeguard.
Okay.
I swam with a brick and everything. Failed that test 5 times, passed it on the 6th. No big deal.
Experienced people person.
Yeah, dude, and that's what it takes to CrossFit. No, I'm just kidding. And so me and him were like just going in and doing the regular bodybuilding stuff. This is the first time I had touched weights. I didn't touch weights until I was like 20, 21. I never messed with them. I was a pretty good basketball player, but I didn't do any weights or anything like that. Couldn't even catch me doing push-ups. And so we started working out, and we were like, this is fun, this is cool, but we were both basketball players. We were kind of we like to do athletic things, like sitting down, doing bench, and then sitting around for 5 minutes just kind of wasn't flowing with us. I found CrossFit online, right? And of course I had the benefit of not knowing what any training was, right? I didn't have this build up of, this is what squatting looks like in high school, or this is what yada yada looks like. I was fresh to it. So I got kind of lucky because I didn't get exposed to a lot of the other stuff. I got exposed to it through CrossFit, right? And so
you're a blank canvas.
Yeah, pretty much.
You had no bad habits.
Exactly. And so I kind of got exposed to it and got to experience it that way. And we found it online. I started doing a few workouts here, and then he started jumping in with me.
Now, when y'all did the workouts, were you doing them at the YMCA?
We were doing them at the YMCA, dude.
So you would Google a CrossFit workout?
Well, we would Google it, and then this is how I really started getting good at programming CrossFit, is we started making up our own. So we started taking really bodybuilding type stuff and CrossFitting it up. So instead of doing hey, we're going to do dips and then we're going to do chest press today, we were okay, let's take supersets, which is an old classic bodybuilding thing, where you do bench and rows together, right? We would do all right, let's do some dips and some pull-ups, but instead of doing 5 sets of 10 of each, we're gonna do 25 of one, 25 of the other, 20 of one, 20 of the other. We're gonna go back and forth until we get it done. So it's more for time, it's a little faster. And that's the kind of stuff we did, and then we just started getting more complex from there.
Now, how long were you doing the workouts, on your own in the gym, before you were you know what, I need to go to a CrossFit gym?
Dude, probably a solid year.
You were doing CrossFit workouts in the gym for a year.
Where we grew up, we didn't have a gym.
Okay.
There's a gym there now. Strong Ox CrossFit in Oxford, North Carolina. Shout out. I haven't been there yet, but great guy. Rob Satterwhite owns it. We would do them in the Y, and then my wife, my now wife, was my girlfriend at the time. She was deciding where to go to college, right? Decided she wanted to go to Mount Olive, right? So I went to Mount Olive with her, last second applied in July, started going in August. Crazy. Shout out to UMO, dude. They let anyone in. Dude.
Right, good.
I get there, I start working out in the on-campus gym, and found out about CrossFit Mount Olive. They weren't an official affiliate or anything, but started working out there, made some friends there. I met someone who went there at the gym on campus, and they invited me out. So that's how I found out about it.
From the YMCA doing CrossFit workouts to going to Mount Olive,
yeah,
the workouts, and come to find out they actually have a CrossFit gym in Mount Olive.
Right, a little small gym behind a house, right? It was a little barn gym type thing.
Now, were you scared going your first time? Was it nerve-wracking?
It was more man, I'm really interested how good, because I've just been doing it on my own, and
you had no idea what the standards were.
Yeah, and I'm a pretty self-aware guy, you know what I mean? When I was getting my CrossFit from was the top of the top on YouTube at the time, when Rich Froning was really good. Well, he's still really good, but he was the big dog. So I'd watch Rich Froning videos nonstop. I'd watch CrossFit videos nonstop. Every video CrossFit put out whether it's information related or whatever, I'm watching it, right? And so I kind of knew what my ability was compared to that. And I was like, I mean, these guys are probably going to be pretty freaking good when I was going. So that was probably the only thing that was like intimidating was, am I about to be like the least fit person in here by a mile, right? Like that was the most nerve-wracking thing.
Now, after your first stage, you realized you were crazy to fill in with?
So on the day I went, I realized I was probably the least fit person in there. But it was comforting, and it was like the light bulb moment when it was like, it really doesn't matter how fit you are, it's going to suck regardless, right? Because the better you get, the harder you're going to push. And so it's just going to still suck. Like you don't get to a point where you're just doing these workouts and you're like the tough ones. Not every workout's got to be the toughest workout in the world. But you get to a point where like, if it's the coach says, hey, this is the one we want to go hard on today. Well, the guy who might be better than you is going to be doing a little bit more weight and maybe a little more advanced movement. He's going to be hurting just like you. So that feeling is not a scaled thing.
The board.
Yeah. Everyone's feeling that.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone's getting taxed an equal amount on that. Like everyone's getting right into the same pain cave. Like no one's getting an easy break on that. So that's kind of like reassuring to me. Like, no matter if I'm in the room with this 80-year-old who's just trying to move and be able to get up off the toilet or get out of bed on their own, they're going to be feeling that same kind of internal, I don't know about if I want to do this next rep. I don't know. Man, I feel like I'm going to pass out. They're feeling the same thing that I'm feeling. That's feeling the same thing that super stud is feeling. So that was like the most reassuring thing to me.
Everybody's struggling. The whole class.
Right.
No matter what shape you're in.
Everybody's in the same basket. That's the most like cool thing.
So you go from this guy doing CrossFit workouts in the YMCA.
In the YMCA, metal plates, couldn't drop anything, so I'm doing clean and jerks, and like we're lowering it down slow.
Yeah. So now the manager, head coach from CrossFit gym.
Yeah.
How in the world?
Just made it happen, dude. Once you fall in love with it, you just keep on chasing it and making it happen. I figured out that I wanted to do this as like professional, but I didn't want to just be like a coach. I wanted to be like a professional in the space. Like, how can I like become somebody that somebody else looks to for help and guidance, not just like that person who's there to give them advice for 30 minutes of the day. Yeah. Like I want to be more than that. And
not just a gym coach, but almost a life coach.
Right. Yeah, in a way. Yeah. And so that's been the chase ever since that.
Okay. Now that you have technically your own gym, what is CrossFit Bohemia? What's the mission here? What's your goal with it?
So I've kind of bounced back and forth. Like I've struggled with making our mission statement for like what we do here. But if I had to pick what I think we're singularly about, I think it's we want everyone who comes into this gym to have physical and mental freedom. And what I mean by that is you're going to come to this gym and the things you're going to be able to do and accomplish in here and the community you're going to surround yourself with, the culture you're going to ingrain yourself in, the mindset that you're going to find here, that whether that's coming from the coach who's coaching you or the person next to you working out, you're going to get into a space where it's going to infect other parts of your life, right? It's going to affect how you do things daily. You're not going to be afraid of those challenges as much because you realize you're able to do so much with your own mind when you're like working out. You are not going to worry about not being able to say yes when it comes to doing things, right? So, you know, if you're, I don't know, you're that 50-year-old guy and you got to say no to your kid because they want to go do something like recreational and you can't do it because you're not sure if your knees can hold up to it, or you're a younger person and you feel like you've gotten out of shape and you just kind of have to blow it by the wayside and you want to keep putting it off, and so like you feel like you're getting mentally trapped. We want you to be able to always have the option to say yes to go do the things you want to do and having the body that's made to do it.
Just want it to be a safe space for
Yeah.
anybody to be able to come.
Oh, yeah.
And experience CrossFit.
Yeah, like the craziest thing happened, I think it was a month ago. The craziest thing happened. We had in one day somebody who was 5 years old, come in and take a class at 5:30 a.m. A 5-year-old. A dad brought his kid with him, and he did the whole workout. I mean, he was up, he was energetic, he was going. The coach modified the workout for him, like right then on the spot. And this 5-year-old did a full CrossFit class, and he's done it a couple times since then when he wants to get up with his dad.
So the same day you can have a 5-year-old and you can have a 60-year-old come.
Yeah. So that same day, actually, we had a 5-year-old and an 85-year-old all work out on the same day.
That's awesome.
That's crazy. That's an 80-year gap. So and I got to see that happen within a 4-hour span. Like I saw a 5-year-old come in and work out, and I saw an 85-year-old come in and work out, and they both did the same workout.
And then that hits back on what you were saying. They were both struggling.
Yeah.
Their own aspect.
Yeah, they both at one point, I mean, the 5-year-old's freaking hilarious. He's so funny. It's Luke Sasser. It's Chris Sasser. He comes to 5:30. It's his son. He'll do like some burpees, and he'll get up and he'll like brush his head out of the way, and he'll look at you and go like that. It's super freaking hilarious. And then Nancy Norwood, who comes and she's 85, will give you a look like, I'm about as tired as I'm going to get. And she's just like, I'm like, well, you got one more rep. She's like, all right. So it's just great to watch that. That's like the really cool part.
Now, talking about two new people coming to the class for the first time, no matter the age group.
Yeah.
What can you expect at your first class? Like, you're the person, you've Googled it, you got a friend that does it, you're kind of antsy about trying it.
Yeah.
You see these people throwing crazy weights around.
Right.
But as somebody who's never done it, what can you expect at your first class?
I think especially here, you can expect to just come in and, for lack of a better term, like you're going to be able to find a comfortable space where you're going to start just kind of like building that self-confidence when it comes to being in the gym. Because that's the one thing I can say. Once you've come here and done the classes, you're going to be really confident when it comes to gym stuff, right? Because you're going to figure out, okay, my body's supposed to move like this, it's supposed to move like that. We start people with intro courses here. So they go through 3 one-on-one classes with a coach before they even start doing classes.
So they get evaluated before you even throw them in the fire.
Right. So we're like checking their flexibility, checking them for movement A, movement B. Okay, here's how you do this. Let's see you do this. All right, we're not ready to do that movement yet. So here's what we're going to do instead while we work on that in the class, right? And so when you get into the class, even if it's a different coach, that coach is looking at you, evaluating, saying, okay, how are your intros? How did this go? And you're able to tell them, and then that coach is just able to put you in the best spot for you, right? And I think that's one of the biggest benefits is that you always have someone here, like when you're doing that class. It's not like we just gave you an intro and we're like, all right, there's what's on the board.
Figure it out, bud.
Go figure it out. Best of luck to you. No, it's, okay, we've done this in intro. Today's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit more fast-paced, all right? But here's what we're going to do. And like you're going to have a coach that's just going to walk you through that.
Now, hitting on that, you're saying when you come to the class, you have a coach there.
Yeah.
So you're getting coached during the workout.
Right.
So that's one of the many things I know personally. A lot of people ask me, why is Planet Fitness $10, but CrossFit is $100?
Right. Yeah.
So that's one of the many reasons.
Yeah.
You want to hit on that?
Yeah. So obviously, at like a Planet Fitness, you don't have someone there who's building their career on helping you. And that's not a knock on Planet Fitness. If you go to Planet Fitness and you get everything you need from there, great. I am a fan of people moving and doing what makes them happy, for sure, 100%. So I don't like look at people who go to Planet Fitness and like talk down on them. I don't look at people who go to any type of fitness, right? Like
they're moving.
Yeah, they're moving. They're finding something that's getting them to move. They're motivated to do it. And it's setting them up for a better lifestyle down the road. And it's what they enjoy. I love it. All right. But what separates us is if you find you need that personal coach, that someone who can really help you through things. Maybe maybe you're the professional type and you really just don't have a lot of time to think about, you're working out and things like that. And you just need to come into the gym and kind of be guided through things because that's your 1 hour you have free a day before you got to go home to the kids because you just spent your 9 hours running a business or things like that. Or maybe you're the type who thrives in like a more gym culture community, but you still need a coach to kind of, okay, this is how you're going to set up for the long term because we're going to guide you through this cycle of workouts, all right? So you're not going in and just doing something completely random. So I think the coaching is probably the biggest aspect of it.
Now, how big are the class sizes here usually? Like, it's not we have 100 members and there's one coach, so you feel like you never get that one-on-one time.
Right, yeah.
You definitely get that one-on-one time that you need.
Right.
From my own experience, you definitely get
it. Yeah, I think like our biggest classes get up to 15 to 20 people. That's like the biggest one. But even then, like the cool thing about us is one of the things we like is for our coaches to do our classes. So even if there's a class of 20, there might be the coach coaching, and then there's another coach who just has to be working out, and they're working out right beside you, and they see something, and they're like, hey, you can try this, or do this, or let's modify this. So there's always eyes watching you in a good way. You know what I mean? There's always someone like who's there to help you, and there's never anyone who's not approachable.
And now when you're saying, you come in and it's not a random what to do, there's already a workout plan.
Right.
It's not just a random workout plan.
Yeah.
You program these workouts for 3 months at a time, right?
Right, yeah.
So it's actually building you up. It's not just, Chris wakes up one day like, hey, I'm going to make y'all do this.
I think I like burpees today.
Yeah.
Right,
it's not like that. It's an actual, you know what you're doing. You know how to program it. Not just CrossFit, but to build up the stuff.
Yeah.
So you get that aspect as well with the gym.
Yeah.
Not only the one-on-one time, but then you have somebody qualified and knows what they're doing, programming the workouts as well to build you up.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the biggest knocks on CrossFit is that it's just random. You're never going to get good at anything, or you're just going to get hurt because you're always doing something different. Like we program in, and it kind of goes back to what I said earlier when I was like, CrossFit isn't anything, but it's also everything. So when I program, I'm using everything from aspects of Olympic weightlifting, powerlifting, bodybuilding, marathon training. I'm using aspects of how they train into everything we do because the number one thing is that you're going to be healthy and fit. I need you to be able to do it for a long time, so I need to keep your joints healthy, and we need to focus on doing the smart things like that. We even incorporate yoga stuff. Like one of our coaches is a yoga instructor. So she helps build in things that help with mobility and things like that. And, that's kind of the beauty of CrossFit is you don't have to feel like you're stuck in one thing. We use tempo training from bodybuilding. Some days we'll do curls and we'll do them at specific tempos so that we build up our biceps. So, because we want stronger biceps so we can do more pull-ups and have elbows and shoulders that are healthy. So, that's kind of the beauty of it. It's not one thing, it's everything, but it's all put together in kind of like a magical pot way that is going to get you as fit as you possibly can be.
It's like we have a lot of moves, if you want to call them moves.
Yeah.
We have a lot of moves to pull from, but you're programming them in a specific way.
Right, yeah. So, you're not doing, it's not front squats one day and then the next day it's like, okay, more front squats. It's not how it works. You know? It might be front squats on Monday and then on Wednesday you're going to have a single leg squat.
Something else to work with.
Yeah, so like a little bit of a variance, you're mixing things up in a way that builds you slowly and kind of fills each cup of fitness. Like how's our cardio, how's our weight training, how's our gymnastics, how do we move our body, how's our flexibility. All right, let's do these movements to increase our flexibility. It's a complete variance in that.
Now, what would you say, we kind of hit on what it is, what the gym is, what to expect. For me, I know I was a person, I sat back, I looked at it for so long, I was so scared to come in, so scared to come. What would you say to somebody in that position right now? This is your last thing today, your last thing. What would you say to that person sitting on the couch. They Google CrossFit Bohica. They might have seen our videos on Facebook.
Right.
But they just
follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, they just haven't made that step to come to their first class.
All right, before I answer, like what I would say to that person, what would you say? Like what would you say, and what did you feel when you finally came in?
I would tell somebody, if you make that leap, that leap of not knowing who's there, not knowing of what the class is going to be about, which that's why we're making these videos, to help people kind of see what it will be. But if you make that leap, it will be so worth it. Yeah. I was so scared. I thought I was in such good shape before I ever came to do CrossFit. And I was so scared of being told or realizing that I wasn't. Yeah. Oh, and I did realize I was not in good shape. But the community and the people and everything you just hit on, knowing what you're going to do every single day, but it's programmed towards something, it's been the best decision of my life. Yeah. Easily. It's just that fear of being judged. People don't come. And there is not that at all. Right. Because like you even said earlier, the most in shape guy in the class or girl, they're struggling just as bad as you. Yeah. Whether you're doing
you all know the same feeling.
You're all done for at the end of the class. So it was so worth that leap of faith just to come to the first class. Yeah. Yeah. The thing I would say to most people is,
I think it's really important. And I can't speak for other gyms. I can definitely speak for this one because I know every single person that walks through that door every day. Right? There is not a single person that goes here that didn't have the same apprehensive self-doubt that you might be feeling about walking in your first day. I mean, even the most badass chick in here had still felt that same uncertain apprehensiveness before they came in here, thinking people in here are going to be better than me, or I'm going to be the least fit, or I'm going to look foolish, or I'm going to get judged for not knowing how to do this. You're not going to get anyone that's going to be in here and is going to look at you and be like, I never went through that, so I'm better than you. Like, everyone's going to be like, I was there. Like the moment you need to like scale a movement, like everyone's going to be like, yeah, I was there. And they're not even going to look at you with like this pity. They're going to look at you like, good, get to work. Let's get a little better. Let's get better today. You're not going to, that's kind of the beauty of it here. Like the reason I really like our culture is it's all, hey, what can we all do collectively to get a little bit better each day, right? And just build on it. You're not chasing my numbers. I'm not chasing your numbers. You might be good at this. I might be good at that, whatever. It's how do we each get to the best possible version of ourselves, and that's beating the yesterday's version of us, right? So that's what I would say to that person is like, don't feel the apprehension about being judged, because you're about to walk into a room. You're about to probably walk into a room for the first time in your life where everyone has thought the same way you do. Like, first, think about that. First time in your life, you're going to walk into a room where everyone has knows what you're going through. Like, that's crazy.
And not just experienced it, but that same person that you're probably scared of judging you will be the person that is actually the most encouraging person in the class. Yeah. They're going to see you do that lift and something, and you're like, that was a really good freaking job. And you're going to be like, dang, I didn't even know that person would have looked at me. Whatever. So that's the really cool part. That's awesome, man. Yeah. That's awesome. I think that's all the time we got today.
That's all the time we got?
That's all the time we got today.
All right.
So we would love to have some more questions put down in the comments below. We're trying to get some rapid fire questions, some things you'd love for us to show for our new people, the people that are sitting on the couch and they're scared to come. Please let us know if you would like us to show you more in depth of how your first time would go. So then there is no fear. You know what you're going to go through when you get here. You know what the first day is going to be like. So just let us know.
Comment topics you want covered in podcasts.
Like, subscribe, comment. Blow it up.
Smash that like button hard.
Yeah,
smash it hard.
Smash that pin. Show
Yeah.
how you gotta smash
Huh?
Smash it.
Yep. I'm coming to this podcast for a long time, and I'm coming to this podcast hard, dude.